Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today. We did talk about something on the show. If you've listened to the regular podcast, it was kind of like a conversation that was had online about if your younger adolescent self were to look at your life today, do you think they would be proud of you? And we had people call and weigh in on this, but we didn't get to Betty and Gavin's opinion on this. So, Betty Rock, do you think younger Betty Lou would be proud of older Betty Rock?
Yeah, I think she would. I think she would be proud of the fact that she has 2 cats because she always wanted more than one.
Oh, that's
Good.
sweet.
That she has her own place so she can feel independent. I think she would be super proud of that, that she can eat whatever she wants and get Chick-fil-A whenever she wants, and that she still does it. Yeah.
I think
That she's able to pay her own bills,
Yeah.
get a roof over her head.
That she's bossing around 2 boys?
Yeah. 2 cats and 2 us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. I think that there's a lot of things that she would be proud of.
I think she'd be proud of how silently strong you are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Yeah, because you're not that person that comes in and knocks down doors, but I've watched the strength you've had throughout your life in different things that you've overcome and different things that you've risen above, and I think she'd be very proud of you for that.
Wow, that means a
instills
lot
fear
to
in
me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. That's kind of like John Wayne, how I feel he would be, like silently strong.
Yeah, that's you.
I'm a female John Wayne.
There you are.
There's
There
your
you are.
title.
There you go.
Don't mess with me, partner.
Gavin?
I think so. I think
Really? Sorry, that was a bad time to be shocked. No.
Did you think of that line like half an hour ago? And you
Oh,
were
no,
just
no. That
waiting
was
for it?
just hit me.
Yeah, I think that like I grew up in an era where, for kids, you didn't have cell phones, you didn't have anything to distract yourself with in a car. So all I did was listen to Christian radio growing up. And again, my name is Caleb.
Right.
I did listen to a different station that sounds like my name.
Yeah, so you grew up listening to Caleb?
I grew up listening to Caleb or
Yeah.
Air One, depending on where we lived, because we moved around so much. And
Boy, your younger
Boy,
self
did
would
they-
be proud of you for not working there.
you know what? I think there's a part of me, younger self would have been like, "Oh, you work for WayFM?" And be like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
That's probably the
Yeah,
first
older
thing.
you is thankful as all get out. You
I
don't work
am.
for Caleb.
I am. I love working here, and I can't imagine being at a different radio station. But I think I'd be proud of that. Proud of the family, proud of being a father and a good father, hopefully. And then I probably, depending on what version of myself, I probably would look at myself and be like, man, did we stop playing soccer? Is probably partially what he'd look at.
Yeah.
But he'd be proud that I'm trying to get back there.
Yeah,
now.
you're doing good. You're losing weight. You're doing good. You're working out. Yeah, you're doing great.
I think he'd be proud of that. Proud of still being like really strong with my faith and being like strong and active in a church. So I think he'd be proud of all that. Proud that I was going to say proud that he has friends. I did have friends.
Yeah.
But proud that I have a good circle of people.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all. That's good.
So, yes.
I had talked about mine on the air about being proud that I made it into some sort of entertainment and some sort of like small notoriety, because that's what I had always wanted as a kid. I wanted to do something. I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And so I didn't know how I was going to accomplish it.
Movie, like you, like.
No, I didn't. I wasn't like, oh, I want to be a movie star, because I knew I wasn't an actor. I loved music. That's what I thought I wanted to be in. And then that didn't pan out. And so then to do this, I thought it was interesting. But I do think, on a serious note, I think that younger me would be disappointed in older me's jaded, not like always happy, see the worst in people and everything. I definitely think that, because when I was younger, I wasn't that way. When I was younger, I saw the good in everything first. I was Pollyanna, kind of like my mom. And then somewhere along, actually, when I got into radio changed all that. I became super cynical and super jaded and angry or whatever. I didn't enjoy life as much, even though I had all these things, And so I think that younger me would be like, man, you got to get some of that back. You're never going to go all the way back to that youthful innocence, because you know too much. But having some of that back would be healthy.
Yeah, and I think when you're that jaded, it seems like it would be super heavy.
Yeah, that is heavy's a good adjective for that because you find yourself
not able to enjoy anything.
Yeah, and there's times like when you react to something and you overreact or you don't have all the information and you react and then you find out later that you didn't have all the information and you should have handled that totally differently. And there's that weight because like guilt comes in and you're like, dadgummit, I said I was going to do it different next time, and then you don't, and so there's definitely a weight to that.
Let me ask you this. This is a conversation that we had off the air, but I'd like to bring it to the potties, though you probably wouldn't.
Oh, great. First one from today?
Well, yeah. What do you think your younger self would be proud of in the fact that you have kidney stones constantly because you don't use public bathrooms?
Yeah, my younger self will be like, feel you, bro. Like, understand
your younger
that.
self was like that too?
Oh, 100%. I've always been like that. Yeah, this isn't something new. It's just, I don't like public bathrooms. I don't like using the bathroom at other people's house. I'll hold it for crazy amounts of time.
Start from the beginning psychology. You see a public restroom right now. You don't want to use it, obviously.
Right.
But what is what's the why there?
I don't know the embarrassment of walking into a public restroom
because you see it as embarrassing.
Yeah.
Nobody else sees that as embarrassing.
Yeah, I guess I do. I'm like, why are people just so willy-nilly with their bladders? Like, oh, look, I gotta go pee.
When you see another man go into a bathroom, do you think that of him?
Yeah, I'm like, why couldn't you control it? Why couldn't you control yourself?
Do you think that?
I'm like, why are you going there? Again,
if you're at a concert.
No, definitely not.
Those
are
actually kind of
concerts. Yeah, I'll go at the airport because I know I'm getting on a flight. I don't want to use the bathroom on a plane. I hate getting up. I hate
me too.
everyone watching you walk back to the bathroom.
I agree.
Okay, so you get that. Then.
I get that one because it feels like you're on a stage.
Same exact thing. Okay, that's a great way
to
know
where that guy's going.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
So wait, you would take so let me back up. So using a bathroom on a plane.
Yes.
The reason I don't like it is because everyone is facing towards me as I'm walking towards them.
Absolutely.
And they know why I'm going back
100%.
there, okay?
Yes.
Now, I don't see that in the same way when you're in a public area. Let's say a restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, people aren't. They're paying attention to other things.
No,
you are not their main focus.
No, they don't care.
They're always watching me. They're watching what I do. Always. Yeah. And so, I think that's what it comes. So that exact same thing on a plane is what I experience all the time. Even here. Because you guys, if I walk out here and I use the restroom, not all the time, but sometimes, you'll make a comment after. And that's like, you were obviously were aware of it, No,
well, because
you created that narrative.
Well, you created that narrative, but also too, everything about your life is loud. Unless you want people to know.
Right.
You want people to know the next task you're doing.
Right.
Have you noticed when you enter a room after you've talked to someone out in the main area, you'll say as you're entering into the studio, you'll be like, all right, let's do the next thing.
Right.
And then you'll shut the door. It's like you want people to know what you're doing. But then when it comes to the bathroom, you tiptoe over there and you close the door as silently as you can.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to pinpoint it out.
Yeah.
Because it's weird.
Yeah. The lady that I went to the dentist yesterday, I needed to use the restroom, and I was like, "There's no way I'm using it."
Yeah, you're telling
a
story.
dentist.
Yeah, your story here is so.
Yeah. So I wasn't going to use the
Crazy.
dentist, but this reminded me of that. She told me everything she was going to do. I think she's newer, and so I think someone has said, "Hey, tell them all the things you're going to do." Okay, I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to put this on you. Then I'm going to wrap this around your neck, and then I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this tool. She narrated the entire thing, which I didn't care because she's super sweet. But I think it was or is she an audible processor? Because I'm an audible processor where I narrate my life kind of thing. But so I had to use the restroom. I was definitely not going to use it there. Then I thought, well, I'll come back to the station because that's at least my second home, and I'll use the restroom at the station.
Okay.
But then I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to go back there, then get back on the highway. So I'm doing the math in my head.
But it obviously must be so bad to the point where you're considering going to your second home to go pee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was. Yeah, I had to go. Without a doubt.
Your options are so limited.
I know. So then I did the math.
What's a timestamp on this? So
over an hour.
You got
hour and
to
a
the
half.
dentist and had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. I got to Lowe's and had to go to the bathroom. And then I'm like, oh, I don't have time to go back to the station. So then I went to the dentist and had to go to the bathroom. Then I had to go to the bathroom on the way home. And so I'm a good 2 hours by that time. Yeah, where I'm like, okay, but I did it. I mean, I was pretty happy about that. Like the
good for you. Actually.
The accomplishment of that, because like that. I mean, it hurt, but that felt good.
Yeah, you're gonna have a kidney stone afterwards.
I probably
but
will.
It's
I probably will.
fine.
That's why I drank a bunch of water today. So I'm good.
It's more of an
But
interesting.
you haven't had to pee yet.
I know. I'm holding on to it.
That's your problem.
Like,
Go
we're
to the
pursuing-
bathroom.
I don't need to.
We're pursuing the psychology of this without, like, you're not going to change that.
No.
Like, it's just very interesting because I'm the opposite of this circumstance where I have made every bathroom my friend at this
Sure,
point.
and you just own it.
Yeah. And,
You're
and
like
that's
how
the thing.
Jake owns his anxiety.
Yeah.
And it makes it totally. Yeah, it's funny. Like Jake is one of the only millennials.
It's a little dark, but funny.
But I love that. And he's one of the only millennials that like has anxiety that I can enjoy being around. It's the ones that like I have to tiptoe around them and like you can't say anything. You're worried you're going to set him off or whatever. Like he's great. Like I love hanging around him. And you've kind of owned the bathroom.
It's in essence, it's advice I'd give to any young person is that if you have something that you're worried about people making fun of you for, if you truly are just like,
if you don't care.
If you grab hold of that and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm that guy that goes to the bathroom all the time.
Right.
Doesn't really impact you. So
Right.
let's just move on with our lives.
Yeah.
Then sometimes it does impact though.
Update the potties a little bit on your
Toothy
teeth situation. Here's the problem. I think this is what it is. Wally has very brittle teeth.
I do.
And I think it's because you don't get the nutrients that you should be getting.
I think I had done a lot of damage to my teeth early on.
Do you think
And-
just sugar? Like
Yeah.
sugar
Oh,
intake
yeah.
as a kid?
I think
is that it?
Yeah. And
Okay.
also too, I think it's a little bit of heredity because my mom's teeth are really brittle, and so I had gone through all of that, and I hadn't gone to the dentist. Like when I was younger, I never went to the dentist. When I was working by myself, like my mom always took me, but then when I went to college and started working, I never went. And so then I went, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have 9 cavities. I got to do all this. Oh yeah, it was horrible. And
don't
so
those hurt?
yeah. And so, but again, I just ignore it like the bathroom. And so I get through it. But like, so I went and I got my teeth like healthy as they could be, you know, and like I brush my teeth twice a day. And like, so I make sure that like my teeth are in decent shape. So I go now, I used to fear going to the dentist because I knew it was always gonna be bad. And like now I don't mind going to the dentist because I know like every 5 years, every 3 to 5 years, maybe I've got a small cavity or maybe something, a filling it needs to be replaced because it was old or whatever. But this time I had a crown come off, which happens. I'm used to that. And then I broke the tooth in
Because
front
he
of
was
it.
chewing on some
Vitamins.
gummy vitamins.
Yeah, but I had cracked it on a McGriddle because there was a bone in my sausage McGriddle, and I was just
Not your fault, but
I know.
It's a risk. It's part of the
Disgusting.
territory.
You don't realize how hard you're chewing sometimes, and that hit just at the right way that it loosened my crown, and then the tooth that's under it already had a root canal on it, so it didn't hurt, but it split that tooth all the way down, like into my jawline.
Could you feel that?
It hurt bad. Like I knew something was up, but then when the crown didn't immediately fall off, I'm like, oh, I'm good. And then I kept feeling my other tooth with my tongue. Like, is that okay? And something felt a little different. So then a month later when I was eating those vitamins and that thing had loosened the crown. So the vitamins pulled the crown off. And when it did that, the tooth in front of it was like, oh, good, we're free too.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
So the weird thing is I thought the tooth in front of it was going to be the problem because it was like a pretty big like hole. And he goes, "Oh yeah, we have to do filling for that. No big deal." Like he wasn't even fazed by that. And so like he did that in 15 minutes. One shot in Novocaine done. I could have even done it without Novocaine because it wasn't hurting. But like they did it.
Not on a full bladder though.
Yeah,
You might have-
I've done one time without Novocaine before with a filling. And I don't think I'll do that again. But
Why'd you do it?
I don't remember. I think it was a time thing. I was in
Proof that he
California.
was a man.
I know. I was in California,
man.
and he was like, "We could do this with Novocaine or without because it's not that bad." I'm like, "Oh, let's try it without." I just want to
not
see.
that bad.
Yeah.
And then he cried.
Yeah, I was sobbed. He had a nerve, but yeah. So then when he fixed that tooth, I'm like, "Oh, great." And then he's like, "Let me get a couple more X-rays." Like, "Oh, crud."
You don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
When he's worried, but he's like doesn't want to sound super worried, but he's a little worried.
Because my guy doesn't do things frivolously. Oh, hey, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's change this. Let's do they always upsell you, or like it's always worst case scenario. Like, oh, we're gonna have to pull all your teeth. Like he's real good about only doing what you need and getting you by. Like if you're like, I don't want to do that, then like, all right, well, let's figure out how we can get you by. And like he's great. And so when he was like, dude, I'm sorry. He's like, you cracked that tooth all the way down. He's like, your options are a bridge where they fix the tooth in the middle, and then they kind of attach it to the other two teeth in front and behind it.
How do you do that?
With like wires or something.
Oh, you got braces.
Yeah, it's called a bridge. Or an implant for that one tooth. And so I'd rather just do the one tooth. I don't want to deal with a bridge the rest of my life. So, but I'm guessing that one tooth will probably be $3,000.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm guessing. I could be wrong. But I'm hoping with insurance it would be like dental implants are brutal. They drill them into your jaw.
I guess they have to 3D print.
Yeah, they make your tooth and they drill it into your jaw. It shouldn't be $3,000, I don't think.
No, it's so weird.
But I want to say it probably will be that.
I hope it's before or after your daughter's wedding. What do you timeline-wise do you think?
What I told him was, I said, look, put the crown back on and then tell me what it's going to cost, and then let me decide which route I want to go. And then I'll decide when I'm going to do it. Because he was like, look, there's not a time on this. He's
really?
like, your crown could come off this minute you walk out of this room, or it could come off in 3 months, and when it does, we'll deal with it then. Like, again, he's like the low pressure dentist.
That's great.
That I just, I cannot say enough.
That's awesome.
McKay's Mill Dental, man, I love them in Cool Springs. They are fantastic. But anyway, so I don't know how it's gonna shake out.
That's a weird thing where it's not crazy high stakes in terms of truly crazy impacting your life.
Yeah, because it doesn't hurt.
But that's a price tag that you're like, I feel like the circumstances should not warrant a number. Hopefully not.
There's a good chance
bad.
if it comes off again, because I still have the cement from when I was in Hawaii when it came off. Because it came off the first time when I was on a flight, and they got new gummies on Southwest flights, and it pulled it off as I was going to vacation.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. It's always gummies. Gummies get me, but I can't help myself. I guess it's kind of like you never get eaten by a shark if you don't go in the ocean. I could probably keep my crowns on if I don't eat gummies, but dadgummit, I'm only human.
Oh, my word.
Again, it's one of those things you shouldn't change. You're not going to change that.
I can't. Yeah, I'm not going to.
You're not going to use the restroom, and you're not going to stop.
I am starting to get that feeling.
What feeling?
TMI, like I need to go.
Golly. I mean, same.
Can I do my story? I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah, let's go.
So there is a video that's going viral, and it's of a boss. He was looking at hiring someone, and it was a Gen Zer, so a younger generation person. I guess she wasn't feeling up to par, so she thought it was
probably had a pimple.
Maybe.
She might have.
But the interview was over Zoom, and instead of just showing her face, she used a filter.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to play some audio from the call, but what you're going to be hearing is the boss trying to interview this woman. Now, when you hear it, envision this. Her eyes are the egg yolks, and her mouth is a slice of toast, okay?
That's the filter
when
she's
he asks her if she can change it, she changes it to a strawberry.
Oh, my God.
Here's what we hear.
I'm not sure if you know, but there's a bit of animation on your face.
Yeah, hey, I'm not feeling well today, so is it okay if I don't show my face?
I'm not sure we're going to be able to conduct the interview with this. It's not very professional. Is there any chance you could turn it off?
I can use a different one if you want. Like, is this better?
No, it's not better. It's a strawberry, you knucklehead.
real?
I would have entered.
Yeah. That's what they
I wasn't
claim.
sure if it was or not. I would have entered that interview right then and there. Been like,
now, see,
all right.
it's causing a debate online because some people are saying, "Oh, she's an instant hire," because obviously she still showed up.
No,
she
she's going to be a
goes
pain
with the punches.
in your butt the rest of the time you hire her.
She still showed up. Maybe she's got a good sense of humor. While others had your opinion that was like, no, don't even bother.
She's going to be toxic, 100% toxic for that company.
With
I don't
breakfast
feel
face?
good today, and I'm, so I'm just not going to come in today.
What was that last line?
Like, I showed up to an interview with my lip taped together because I'd split it open and
doing what?
Oh, this is the one I've told the story before. I cut it on a piece of glass on an old entertainment center. I bent down and it split my lip open. And so I had to go for a job interview the next day. And I just literally put tape and taped it together so it would like hold together. And I did the interview. Now, I lied about what happened. I said I got hit in the face with a hockey stick playing roller hockey. Because that's way cooler. But I went. I showed up looking horrible. My mouth is all swollen and split open.
Here's the big question. Did you get the job?
I did. I got the job. It was my first job in radio, and that led to every other job in radio that I've had. So I went. I showed up. And I got it done.
Technically, you could say she did show up.
She did.
She did show up. Instead of tape, though, she used a filter.
Yeah, but if the lady had asked me to do something differently, like that I was interviewing with, I would have obliged 1,000,000,000%. Like whatever it was. Like if she had said, hey, that piece of tape is distracting. Can we cover that with something or whatever? Because if I took it off, I was going to bleed over everything. But like, I would have been like, sure. Or she's like, hey, could you put your finger under your nose so I don't see the tape? Fine, not a problem. But like, hey, could you take that filter off so I can see your face and I can talk to you like a human? Absolutely. I would have been like, yeah, that's fine. Look, she probably didn't have makeup on. She probably forgotten and showed up late, So it's like, no, just if that's the case, turn off the camera and you get the job probably,
So you wouldn't hire her?
No, 100% no.
Gavin, what would you do as a younger person? What would you see that as? Disrespect, or would you see that as opportunity?
I'd see it as laziness and a fear of even on your worst day. Like I can look at somebody. I think it's an inability to say, oh, they'll look at me on a not so great day and be like, we cannot hire her. She looks bad.
That's not going to happen. Like we look at Betty every day before makeup.
Wait a minute. Excuse me.
And it's glorious.
That's not what I say.
Yeah, it's glorious. And so we're lucky. We get both versions of you.
Yeah.
But like even if you say I'm not made up yet, like
it
doesn't
be
matter.
That bad?
Yeah, exactly.
Can it be that bad? Like maybe,
I think
don't
there
wear
are.
a hat. Or
I think that there are some women that feel so self-conscious about a certain thing that they will go to these lengths.
Then make sure you wake up early.
Maybe it's as a woman that I'm seeing it a little different. Also, I would specify too, if I were hiring her for a social media position, I wouldn't say no just yet because she obviously has a good sense of humor. I would think if she still showed up and she used a filter and she chose the breakfast face. I mean, she could have picked anything else, but she chose the breakfast face.
Was it breakfast or lunchtime? That would be a very big thing for me. If she wore the breakfast face on lunchtime interview, then she's totally out of touch. She's tone deaf.
Tone deaf. Read the room. Read the room, Cindy.
If it was a normal job interview, like an accounting position, she didn't feel like it. She put that filter. I just think the filter is a step beyond unserious.
And then to not change it.
Yeah. To go to a different one.
Get rid of it. Yeah. I mean, you're just showing that you're going to fight me every step of the way. Like, I could see showing up once and being like,
someone has said that about you.
Sure. But I'm successful. Like, she won't be. Because I work hard. So yeah, like I could see if she had shown up like that and he said, okay, hey, will you turn that off? And you go, click. All right, yeah. See, I got this giant wart on my face, whatever. But where she's like, okay, I'll change it. Strawberry, okay, I'll change it. Blueberry, like she is gonna fight you at every step on everything.
Let me ask you
and
something.
she either is not worth it or she better be so great at her job that she's worth the headaches.
I don't always agree. Like I'm not always super like in agreement with that stuff. I'm totally with you.
Yeah.
Let me ask
I just
you
think
something.
it's
Haley, your one and only love of your life daughter. Okay.
Love that kid.
Let's say that she got a real bad case of pink eye.
Okay.
Then she cried herself to sleep the night before the interview because she was just so anxious about how this interview was going to go and how hideous she looks.
Yeah.
And the only way she felt better would be to do the filter.
No.
Then what would you tell her to do?
I would tell her, own it. Get on there. If it's an obvious thing, own it. You go, hey, you're not like, hey, this interview was so important to me because I really want to work here. I have pink eye, so thank goodness we're doing this over the phone so that I don't touch anything. But like, I am so sorry that this is what you're seeing, but this is important to me, and I want to make sure I'm here.
You look exponentially sillier doing a Zoom call.
Yeah.
With a filter with eggs, because I was watching the video. Eggs, toast and then a strawberry, you look exponentially sillier doing that
Yeah.
than if you just had a
pink
pimple
eye.
or a pink eye or a bad hair day.
Yeah.
Like, that is just so ridiculous. I think this is, I'm watching it, I feel like
Feels fake.
I feel like it's fake. There's just those like weird, hey, look at this real interview just to get some clicks online.
It felt in the acting of it. It felt
but
fake.
if it happened, then yes, like I would not hire that person if they were doing that for a job that, again, if it was for a funny gig, like if I had interviewed for this job, which is a job that's, semi-rooted in humor and hard work.
Right.
But I came up to our first Zoom call and I was like, "Woohoo, look at me, silly."
Yeah.
What would you have
That's the
thought?
Lucky Charm man.
Oh yeah, like
Hired.
Yeah,
Immediate.
done. As it dressed as a gnome, absolutely.
I don't know. What do you think?
Those are those things that's a risk.
Yeah.
Where like sometimes you show up in an outfit for the job you're wanting, or you like there are people that like actors that show up in character and whatever, and it's always a risk. You do your homework and try to know the people.
You got to have a lot of confidence.
Yeah, you
if you're
really
gonna
do.
do it, have the confidence.
Yeah.
Do you remember that video that went viral? And this one we know for sure was real. Was the guy that showed up at court, but it was on Zoom, and he had the kitten filter on him, and he didn't know how to get it off. Do you remember this? And he's like,
That's just funny.
I'm not a cat.
That was all of us for about a year when Zoom
So
first popped
good.
up.
Yeah. So that one's understandable because he's trying to get it turned off, but
we have a 5-minute countdown.
Uh-oh.
But I do have one birthday that I need to get to.
Let's do it.
Emma wants to wish Naomi a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Naomi! She said Naomi is sweet, loyal, and genuine, a beautiful and great friend who is turning 14.
Oh, nice.
Woo! Happy birthday.
Nice.
Burning building question, and this one is for me. She said Mike Rowe, or if he was alive, Elvis.
Oof, tough call. Young Elvis, not Fat Elvis.
Yeah. Both are probably financially
He couldn't
well
help
off.
it.
Fat Elvis,
He was going through a lot.
he was bloated.
He was doing a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say Mike Rowe, when he was younger, was not the best looking guy.
No, he got better as he got older.
As a silver fox, he has got it dialed in, okay?
I can't think
now,
of a young...
Elvis Presley, we never got to see that side of him, but when he was younger, he was fine as wine.
Yeah.
All that to say,
It's Mike Rowe.
I'm going to go with Elvis.
Really?
I'm so
The
surprised.
younger
Yeah.
50s
Yeah.
Elvis,
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
there's not many men that could pull off the baby face or
Sure.
the clean shaven face and still look fine,
Sure.
and he could do it.
Yeah. He definitely was blessed with great cheekbones.
He was a hunka.
Burning love.
Burning love.
There you go. Speaking of burning, I need to go use the restroom, and we got to get this other thing done. So, thanks so much for being a potty. Look, we just came full circle.
And we're
Call
not
back.
gonna and we're not gonna acknowledge the fact that you're doing it.
Thank you. Don't watch me.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water, and with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.